People have grades like this right now. In this video, I'm going to tell you 5 ways to raise your grades with online and hybrid learning. It might not be relevant for some people, but it is for me. I'm going to hybrid learning very soon, so I'm going to tell you 5 ways to raise your grades. So some people have grades like this right now, and I know it's hard, but it's still going to affect your total grade or your GPA, so you definitely have to get those up, and here's the 5 tips. Number 1, Quizlet and Kahoot should become your best friends. You should be using Kahoot games like that you can just find off of searching on Kahoot, like Unit 1 of biology or like whatever your unit is, and just find some questions that kind of assimilate with that unit. And those can really help. Kahoot, you can find the same kind of thing. On Quizzes is another one you can use. There's all these different ones you can use that would be great practice. Number 2 is a strategy I've came up with called relaxed active recall. So active recall I did not come up with. It's a scientifically proven method to increase your memorization of a certain subject. So if you're studying, let's just say like algebra. So if you're studying algebra, active recall would be like saying the problem out loud and then answering it out loud. This should help your memorization. You work out the problem too on paper. That's active recall. Now, with online school, I add a twist to it called relaxed. So if you just did one subject, super stressful, it took you like an hour and you were just so stressed out the whole time. Now you have to take a quiz. You might want to study first, but you don't want to study right now. You're not in the right mind space to study. So I suggest using my technique. So what you want to do is get into bed. Watch Netflix for 30 minutes or whatever you watch, TV, anything. Then get out of bed, literally out of bed. You don't want to be in bed still. And you want to study half your material. Or you can do it in whatever intervals you want. But I'd say about half's good. And then you want to get back in bed, watch Netflix for 30 minutes, get out, study the other half. And then study the whole thing using an active recall at the end, and then just review it one more time, see if you've memorized everything, and then take the quiz. So that's what I use, relaxed active recall. I suggest it, and it definitely helps. Number 3, I would say pay attention on your Zooms. It is so easy to turn off your camera and turn off your mic and go on TikTok. But Charli D'Amelio is not going to help you raise your grades. Trust me, she will not. She might be rich, but she can't do that. So what you really want to do is pay attention during class. A lot of times they are actually talking about things that are on the test, even if they're not telling you. So it's definitely worthy of paying attention. Number 4 is a strategy I've seen on all those study YouTube channels where you watch them study on a time lapse. It's called note revision. So this is more specifically for higher level classes, usually not math. I mean, you can do it with math, but I don't think it would really help. But it's more of a thing for like all your other classes. So what you want to do is write out all the concepts that you're given, as much as you know about it. So if it's like characteristics of life, just write them all out and then do the next concept and next concept. You should have like, a few pages of notes. Now what you want to do is flip back through your other notes and see if you have everything matched up. If you don't, in like a brightly colored pen, write everything else that you didn't have originally in. Then write them all out again. I know it takes forever, but it's worth it. They don't have to be, right next to each other. They can be like spaced out, but write them all out again in a colorful pen. For me, like in colorful pens help because I'm a visual learner. Actually, you might want to take a few like tests that tell you what kind of learner you are, tactile, auditorial, or visual, because that can help you study too. I do suggest that. So then you want to write all your notes out again and check it again. If they all match up, you're good. If you want to do it a third time, you can. You probably don't, but you can just study at that point. So this is more for higher level classes that you don't get a study guide with answers for, and you more get a study guide that just tells you what to study. Then number 5, the final tip I have for you, is more specifically for Google Classroom. But on my Google Classroom, we have things called to-do lists, and it'll tell us what is due and when. So right now, I think I have 2 things under later that are due, but it's not things I can turn in right now. Like, it's stuff that you have to wait to turn in. So like one of them is reading log. So like my reading log's due at the end of the month. So I mean, I can't finish it, but it's good to keep track of when the assignments are due. and I totally use this all the time. I almost missed an assignment like one day, but I checked my to-do list and it was like due the next day. So I was like, I just did it real quick. I mean, it was 5 minutes, but still. So use your to-do list on Google Classroom. I suggest having an agenda. I can show you my agenda from online school. Those were just a few days. I have a ton of notes, like everything to do, and I cross it off. It actually like releases endorphins when you cross something off on a to-do list, and it gives you a sense of accomplishment. So having a to-do list is definitely good. So I hope these tips help. If they did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what tips you've used for online school. I would love to know them. Maybe they could help me. Yeah. And thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Bye.